Sarah Connor, are you in here?
I just rewatched Terminator. Is it still as good as I remember? Yes, pretty much. It's still pretty good. For you muggles who don't know, Terminator is a 1984 hit directed by sweetheart James Cameron.
His name is James Cameron, the bravest pioneer. No budget too steep, no sea too deep. Who's that? It's him, James Cameron.
Now, unfortunately, Terminator is one of these movies released 3 to 4 decades ago that the company is too proud of to let it end. This series, in particular, becomes frustratingly confusing. What some people don't really get is that in the first movie, the premise works because it's simple. A robot is sent from the future to kill Sarah Connor, while another person is sent from the future to save her. There's not much in the story that leaves much room for sequels, and yet we have 5 sequels, and only 1 or 2 of them are actually good. Whilst this movie is really good, there are a few things that I wish were different, and I know that might sound mean, but I'm still going to talk about these problems I have, because they are small problems, that some of which could have been fixed. Obviously, the 2 main characters are doing an excellent job. Apparently, Arnold was supposed to play the hero, and I think I speak for everyone when I say that would not have worked. Now, to quickly make my point about this, I'm just gonna say something that will make you mad. Many Arnold Schwarzenegger movies aren't that good. Now, don't get me wrong, I love it when Arnold Schwarzenegger plays the badass, confident hero who kicks all the stereotypical baddies. I mean, who doesn't like that? But the problem stems from the fact that it gets predictable and repetitive.
Wrong.
So you might ask me, what is the criteria to survive an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where Arnold plays the hero? You have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, or 2, an innocent female. This all comes into play because he plays the villain of this story. That makes it more interesting, and it kind of makes him more unstoppable, or at least that's the way I see it. The entire point of Kyle Reese is that he isn't sure whether he can stop this threat. He's really nervous that he might fail. He feels like everyone's life depends on the fact that this woman survives. But he will try because it's his mission. If this character was played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, then this character would not have worked, and this entire series would not have worked. Also, Michael Biehn is doing an excellent job.
Defense network computers. New. Powerful. Hooked into everything.
There's a scene where he was driving away from the villain, and he tells exposition at the same time, and it is honestly the best exposition I've gotten out of a movie in a very long time. Even Star Wars and Harry Potter have scenes where the characters just stop what they're doing so they could just give exposition. Every scene with Michael Biehn is so much fun.
He'll find her. That's what he does. That's all he does. You can't stop him. He'll wait for you, reach down her throat, and pull her fucking heart out.
The actors are all playing the characters that are right for them, which comes to my first problem. All the characters are playing their part, except for Linda Hamilton.
Come on, do I look like the mother of the future? I mean, am I tough? Organized? I can't even balance my checkbook.
The Terminator movies basically saved her. She isn't doing a horrible job, but it's not that great either. It also doesn't help that I'm not a huge fan of her character. Her character is one of many, and nobody who actually has potential and ends up being the savior of the human race or whatever. So whenever we see a character like this, we're just gonna call them the Luke Skywalker character. Sarah Connor in this movie is fine though. What I'm trying to say is that it's really nothing special. Like, you could have just shown me that she's an ordinary girl. I don't really like how everyone is an asshole to her, and then she ends up being the savior of the human race. I would rather it be just a normal everyday person, and having scenes where she gets bullied by people denies me that. There's also another weird scene where Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor fall in love. I mean, look at this cut, it's hilarious. When Whenever I see this cut, I just laughed every single time. It's like the Terminator's like, no more fun. I'm here to ruin the fun. I know that this scene makes sense for the ending, but that honestly leaves more questions than answers, if you ask me.
Don't suppose you know who the father is?
And John never said much about him. I know he dies before the...
I also think that the extras are hilarious in this movie. You have this guy who was supposed to play the Terminator originally. Like, I'm not kidding on that one. He really was going to play the Terminator originally. Then you have Ed Traxler, who was the best police officer ever to be put on screen.
What do you got?
Dead girl.
I can see that.
Sarah Ann Connor, secretary, 35, shot 6 times at less than 10 feet. Large caliber weapon.
You know, these work.
Then you have Dick Miller, who is seriously underrated. If you haven't seen Shopping Mall, shame on you.
What the hell is that? What is this, you worthless pile of junk, huh? This is gonna be trouble when I first brought you in here.
And he's in the funniest scene of the whole movie.
You can't do that.
Now we're going to talk about the funniest and the worst part of this movie. FAP. I'm going to name you a few movies, and I want you to tell me what they all have in common. The Terminator, Terminator 2, Terminator 3, Terminator 5, Die Hard, Die Hard 2, you get the idea, basically. Now what do all these movies have in common with each other? FAP is what they have in common. FAP is an anagram I personally created for fucking annoying police. The police in this movie are fucking annoying. Now what do the fucking annoying police do in each of these movies? Oh, they arrest our main heroes all the time. They hate our main heroes. They always hate the main heroes. And this movie, we have the worst police I've seen in a long time. Except for this man. Like, why is there only one police station in LA? Why aren't more police stations involved when 17 officers have been shot? Why aren't the police looking for a man who killed a dozen people by now? I mean, they do start looking for him, but then they stop when they arrest the wrong people. They literally just stop looking for him. I mean, why? Why did they do that? I guess they were just tired. How did Kyle, a man who has been shown to be badly wounded, disarm a trained police officer? Also, listen to how the policeman reacts when an apparent madman points a gun at him.
The date!
12th May, Thursday.
What year?
Why is the police slogan not capitalized? I'm just wondering, why is that shit not capitalized? Why did a police officer leave his police car unlocked? Not only that, but he left a shotgun in the unlocked police car. Why did you do that? And the funniest thing is, in the chase scene, the Terminator breaks into a police car, and in it he finds another shotgun in the front seat. Do all police officers carry shotguns with them? I guess they called for shotgun, and that's why they're in the front seat. Do you get it? Do you get my joke? Do you get it? Do you get it? Also, there's this weird part of the movie where both Arnold and Kyle have crashed vehicles, and then the police arrive. But rather than Arnold getting out of a car and quickly shooting Sarah Connor, he runs away. Why? Where does it say in his specifications that, oh, if you get cornered by the police, run away? I mean, okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I fully believe that one man, no matter how much of a robot he is, can't take on 17 people. There's like 20 dudes, and I'm pretty sure Arnold couldn't have killed them all. I mean, he's only one person after all. Yes, I fully believe that Arnold isn't able to shoot all the police officers at once. However, I would still call this my favorite Terminator movie. Seriously, this is my favorite Terminator movie. So for my slogan, I'm going to make my slogan capitalized, and I'm going to call it Good Job.